إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله الله لا إله إلا الله
humanity. Allahu ya Allahu ya Allahu. In the name
We sent messengers as bringers of good tidings and warners, so that mankind will have no argument against Allah after the messengers. And ever is Allah exalted in might and wise.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. We've been listening to the stories of the prophets. We've heard about their lives and the history behind it. Some of the stories we know to be exactly true. Some, there could be, difference of opinions on how things came about. But the most important thing, really, is the message that comes with the prophets and what they're conveying to the people. If we consider the story of Adam, alayhi salam, and all we think about is he ate some fruit, we miss the point. If we think about Noah, alayhi salam, the prophet Noah, and all we get out of it is some guy riding around in a boat with animals, we didn't get the whole idea, did we? When we talk about Moses, and we said, well, he parted the sea, and they went across, and they went up in a mountain, and that was all nice, but what was the point? What were we trying to learn from this? Especially because each one of these prophets were teachers to their people, to teach them a lesson. Not to teach them a lesson like when you go to school, the teacher gives you the information, you get everything, and then you take the test. But if you're not careful in life, if you get the test first, you may not pass it because you won't know what's the lesson. Some people use the expression that life is the best teacher, but life is not the best teacher. The lessons we learn in life often hurt us. Well, we learn, but that's not a good teacher. Could I give you one example? So if somebody doesn't know anything at all, they just don't know anything, and they see a fire and they say, oh, look, the fire has light. Oh, the fire is warm. Fire is good. I will take some fire with me because it's nice, so I'll take a handful of fire. What will happen to their hand? Yeah. Now they learned the lesson, didn't they? What if somebody is standing on a high mountain and they look down and said, oh, how pretty it is down there, and look how the birds are flying. Isn't that nice? I think I'll fly too, and they jump off the mountain. What will happen? Yeah, big time. And you could say, well, he learned a lesson. Well, it didn't do him any good. He's dead. So when Allah sends teachers and prophets, messengers to us, it has a purpose so that we don't learn the hard way. We learn the easy way. The easy way is when Allah sends a messenger, gives you a message, you take this message. One of the best examples to the children of Israel is their last and final message. And he came to them very clear. Even there will be miracles from the time he's born. Even before he was born, there would be miracles associated with him. That's how important he was going to be. He was going to be prophet for them. And that word is called Messiah in English. Masih in the Arabiya. And in English today, they use a form of a Greek word called Christos, and they call him Christ. That's where the word Christ comes. It's all one word. Masihi, Messiah, Christos, Christ, all means the same thing. One of the things that they have in the old scriptures talks about the birth of a baby to a woman who is a virgin. Now, some translations, they just say to a young maiden. But it was understood that this would be a girl who didn't have a husband, and she would have a baby. But now, before we go any further, I want to tell you the story from the prophets. There was a man, a very, very good man, by the name of Zachariah. alayhi salam, and they considered him as a prophet, peace be upon him. But Zachariah, he had a sister-in-law. In other words, his wife's sister. Her name was Hannah. And Hannah, she was married to a man by the name of Imran. And Imran, he came from the lineage or the family of David and Solomon. He was a very good man, very good man. In fact, he was the leader of all of the Jews at that time, of all of the children of Israel. He was their beloved leader, and he was good. And when they went to him for judgment, he gave good judgment. When they asked him for anything, he would try to work things out for them. And so everybody liked him. He became old, he had no children, and Hannah had no children for him. And they wanted children, but it just didn't happen. Hannah was the kind of woman that's so sweet and never really asked for much. She prayed to Allah a lot. She made a lot of salat, a lot of dhikr. She was giving charity, doing good things. And every time she'd see a baby and anybody had a small child, she'd want to hold it. She'd want to be, just have a baby. And each time it was stronger in her until finally, as an old woman, as you imagine, she went and she started crying and crying to Allah. Her husband, Imran, heard her. What's going on? She said, I want a baby. I want to have a baby, a child. I just want to do that. And if Allah blessed me with that, I would do anything for Allah. So one time she was crying to Allah, praying. She said, Allah, just give me a child. Give me a child, and I'll give the child back to you. Just give me a child. Let me have a baby, and I'll give it back to you. And how will I give it back? It's easy. I will dedicate the life of my boy to be somebody for the masjid. He will take care of the masjid. He'll be in the masjid all the time. I want him to be from that. Now, this is good, and it fits, too, from the children of Israel, that if anybody's from the tribe of Levi, which they were, then the child could really be somebody as a servant in the masjid, be a high priest, be anything, So that was what she said. And guess what? Allah made it so that she was going to have a baby. Now, was she happy? Was she happy? When she told her husband, he was so happy. It was like going around, hey, we're going to have a baby, man. I can't believe it. Because his wife was old. But we've heard this several times in the stories that we've been talking about, the lives of the prophets, that when a woman gets really old, but Allah can still make children come from her, because Allah can do anything he wants to do. Time went on, and then she delivered the baby. But just before she had the baby, Imran died. Now, she really, really was upset over that, because she wanted him to see this baby. She wanted him to hold the baby and everything, because this was so special to her. And she started crying. But she cried to Allah, and she said, Allah, you know what's best. And, you've taken my husband, but you're giving me this baby. It's a big test now, because she's going to be an old lady all alone. Will she still give the baby? Huh? Or will she change her mind? And the baby was born. And it was a girl. A girl? Allah, it's a girl. And Allah said what? It's in the Quran, you can read it. Allah said it real clear. I know it's a girl. Allah knows what's inside the womb before it's there. Allah knows everything. It's okay. Now she could say, well, let's see. My husband is dead and I need to have somebody with me. And it is a girl, and girls can't even go in the temple. They're not allowed. Women are never allowed in the temple. Did you know that? Not like with Muslim, any woman, she can go in the masjid. That's okay, but no, not permitted for any woman to go in the temple. So I can't let my girl go, right? So here now she had a real good excuse. Two good excuses, huh? But still she didn't do that. Instead, she went to the temple. She had this baby wrapped up in these blankets, and she went to the temple and said, this baby is dedicated to the temple. This is the baby of Imran. They were amazed. Oh, wow, Imran, because everybody liked him. He was like the greatest. I said, sure, we'll take care of her. It's a girl?